today's news, Paul Jack wanted by police in the British Virgin Islands. Missing Brazilian nationals reportedly safe in St. Martin. The governor seeks more powers and announces new reform deadline. And governor's requests an insult to voters, says Premier. And some House of Assembly members seeking to weaken Integrity Act. But viewers, these are more stories when 284 News return.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
One Stop Auto, located in the R&R Malone Complex, Parkwood Pond, is having a huge liquidation sale on all inventory, excluding vehicles and genuine Toyota and Lexus parts. Get no less than 50% off all items on shelves and inventory room. Items such as car covers, steering wheel covers, wipers, sealants, chemicals, emergency cones, adhesives, license plates frames, air filters, oil filters, front brakes, rear brakes, front rotors, rear rotors, radiators, shocks, and much more. A specific listing of all makes and models for which parts are available at liquidation prices will be posted on our Facebook page.
Welcome viewers to the Monday, January 8th, 2024 edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Well, leading today's news, we start with a story from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, where it issued a wanted bulletin for a 49-year-old Paul Jack. Jack is alleged to have entered the territory illegally and is now also wanted for the offense of burglary. The police said he was last seen in the area of Princess Quarters on the sister island of Virgin Gorda. Jack is described as being 5 feet 7 inches in height, having a brown skin complexion and of slim build. Persons with information regarding Jack's whereabouts are asked to contact the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force's Intelligence Unit at 368-9339 or the Virgin Gorda Police Station at 368-7597. In more news, the missing Brazilians who were labeled as missing at large by immigration officials after they off-boarded a cruise ship in the BVI on January 6th without returning have stated that they are safe and on the island of St. Martin. On Sunday, January 7th, an official flyer with the photos of Miss Ana Carolina Thomas and Mr. Diego Cabral circulated, with residents immediately being put on alert. A number of persons throughout the territory paid keen attention to Thomas's Instagram page, where the two were shown at the Baths, Virgin Gorda. Well, late last evening, Miss Thomas commented on 284 Media's page with the following message stating, "Hello, thank you all for the concern. We are fine, had some health trouble on the cruise and stayed in the BVI. Today we took the flight to St. Martin and will continue our trip. Big hug to all of you. Loved the island," end quote. Well, since the release, no updated statement has been released by the Immigration Department, Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, or the Government Information Services Unit, which issued the initial alert. Now moving on, viewers, where outgoing Governor His Excellency John Rankin has stated his intention to ask the United Kingdom for expanded powers and an extended deadline for implementing reforms in the British Virgin Islands. Rankin expressed doubt that the government can meet the current May 2024 target despite 2 prior deadline adjustments at their request. He noted only one additional reform was completed since September and not by the government itself.
In April 2023, I published a letter from the then UK Minister for the Overseas Territories. Lord Goldsmith said that if the necessary reforms have taken root no later than May 2024, this should allow the Order in Council to be lifted. I do not now foresee that reforms will have taken root at that point, and it is clear that more time will be required. I have accordingly suggested in my quarterly review that an extension to the end of November 2024 would be appropriate.
The governor lamented his calls for concerted effort and prioritization from ministers went unheeded.
The Commission of Inquiry made 49 recommendations to help resolve these issues and place the BVI on a better path to good governance. And in June 2022, the Government of National Unity accepted 48 of those 49 recommendations and committed themselves to delivering them. Politicians from across political parties agreed that delivering these reforms was vital. I'm disappointed, however, to report that in recent months, progress in these commitments has significantly stalled. My previous quarterly review was relatively positive, but it called for concerted effort and prioritisation from ministers to make further progress. This hasn't happened. Last September, 24 of the 48 recommendations have been delivered by the government's own count. As of today, only one more recommendation has been delivered, namely the receipt of the Constitutional Review Commission report, which was, of course, not carried out by government, but by an independent review body.
Rankin stressed that more than just extra time is needed for full reform implementation in the BVI. While not calling for the constitutional suspension to be triggered, Rankin alluded to needing further steps to drive the process, but this includes additional authority for the governor's office. The BVI government was given ample time to enact reforms, but has shown little progress recently, Rankin argued. He remains unconvinced that they can meet even the extended deadline without additional measures being taken.
But while I believe an extension is necessary, additional time alone will not be enough. The initial deadlines were agreed by the BVI government. Some, not all, of the deadlines were tight, and the government asked for extensions on 2 occasions, last January and again in September. Those requested extensions were accepted by the UK, but even these extended deadlines are still being consistently missed. So, in addition to a new deadline to the end of November, there is clearly a need for some further steps to drive forward implementation of the COI recommendations. I am not recommending triggering of the Order in Council in order to establish an interim administration led by the Governor. But I have come to the conclusion that additional powers for the Governor are required to help ensure that the BVI government delivers its commitments. I'll be writing to the UK Minister today with a recommendation to that effect.
Up next, Governor's request an insult to voters, says Premier, and some House of Assembly members seeking to weaken Integrity Act. But these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with yours truly, Ron Grant, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 5, a 284 Media production.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Bye.
This thing got me one way that day.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit, I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into you know I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hooked, I tell you.
Welcome back, viewers. A Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley says House of Assembly members are unanimously disappointed by outgoing Governor John Rankin's intent to seek additional authority from the United Kingdom. Rankin revealed that he intends to seek additional powers for the offices of the governor's office to boost the implementation of reforms related to the Commission of Inquiry.
My administration has worked in the spirit of partnership with him as we have delivered reforms, while at the same time executing all of our other responsibilities. This is why all of my honorable colleagues and I, on both sides of the aisle, are highly disappointed with the governor's request for additional powers in his most recent update on governance reforms. It appears he wished to act in areas of constitutional responsibility devolved to the elected arm of government. The governor should not be seeking additional powers to bypass democracy and the people of the Virgin Islands so that he can implement measures as he sees fit without any democratic accountability. It would be a clear colonial act.
In response, Wheatley said he will write to the Overseas Territories Minister David Rutley and urge him not to grant Rankin's request.
I will be writing to Minister Rutley to urge him to not support the governor's request to grant the governor additional powers, but rather to continue his approach of constructive engagement between the UK and Virgin Islands as partners and support the elected arm of government in implementing governance reforms. I will ask him to stay true to democracy.
The Premier slammed the governor's intentions as an undemocratic move to bypass BVI leaders chosen in the April 2023 election. Wheatley called Rankin's constitutional power grab an insult to Virgin Islanders and made clear the government will vigorously oppose the act. He argued there is no justification for empowering the governor over local matters like immigration and crown lands.
We must remember an election was held in the Virgin Islands in April 2024, in April 2023. Each and every district and territorial representative in the House of Assembly was elected by the people of these islands so their voices could be heard. A government was formed to govern the society and make decisions in consultation with the people. That is democracy, for better or worse. It would be an insult to the voters and people of the Virgin Islands for additional powers to be granted to the governor to empower him to push his agenda in devolved areas of responsibility. Subjects such as immigration and crown lands fall under the elected arm of government, and there is no justification for powers being transferred or given to the governor to undermine the democratic will and democratic rights of the people of the Virgin Islands. Decision-making should be underpinned by democratic governance. We must stay true to this principle, not just in the UK, but also right here in the Virgin Islands.
The Premier reflected on progress in modernizing the UK overseas territories relationship and said granting Rankin more powers would severely damage BVI UK ties and set back democracy in the islands.
For the past 20 months, my administration has engaged constructively with the United Kingdom in a genuine effort to improve relations. We substantially contributed to the development of the political declaration recently agreed between the UK and overseas territories in what was thought to be a genuine effort to re-establish a modern partnership and end the drift backwards toward a colonial relationship. Last September, my administration hosted the UK OT Illicit Finance Dialogue meeting of senior officials here in Tortola. It was a great meeting, and we made good progress between UK and OT colleagues on critical issues. The UK facilitated a Virgin Islands delegation's participation at COP28, and we held positive talks on UK climate support to the OTs. In addition, early last year, Lord Goldsmith visited these islands in what was the beginning of a positive rapprochement between the Virgin Islands and UK. The current OT Minister, Honourable David Rutley, continued in this vein, and I have commended him for positively changing the tone of the relationship. Granting the Governor additional powers would go directly against the political declaration we and other OTs have just agreed with the UK, and would do considerable damage to our relationship.
Governor His Excellency John Rankin has expressed his disappointment in the recent claims which suggest that some members of the House of Assembly are seeking to weaken the Integrity in Public Life Act 2021. The governor made the claim after delivering his final quarterly review report on the implementation process of the Commission of Inquiry recommendations at a recent press conference. The act, which was passed through the House of Assembly unanimously in December 2021 with amendments and assented to by Governor Rankin, is yet to be brought into force.
I am informed that rather than supporting strengthening of the Integrity in Public Life Act, there are some members of the House of Assembly who would actually like to weaken the Integrity in Public Life Act. And for goodness sake, if there is surely one lesson to be learned from the Commission of Inquiry report, is it that we need effective integrity in public life legislation.
Governor Rankin, at the time of his comments, was speaking on the various legislation that he would like tabled before the House of Assembly and brought into force.
I've already made clear that I would like to see the Register of Interest Act amended so that the register for House of Assembly members was available for everyone at no cost and fully online. I've also made clear that I would like to see a strengthened Integrity in Public Life Act. The Integrity in Public Life Act, which we currently have on the statute books, again was passed in 2021 and has never been brought into force. Now, the Commission of Inquiry report recommended that the Act actually be amended to strengthen it, and that was also the recommendation in the review carried out by Mr. Denniston Fraser, who pointed out, for example, that the Integrity in Public Life Act contains a code of conduct, but there's no penalty for breaching the code of conduct. The Integrity Commissioner doesn't have the power to impose a penalty for a breach.
The governor was also asked whether he intends to reintroduce the controversial Police Act 2023 in the suite of legislation he wants passed.
The police bill stands separately from the Commission of Inquiry report, but if, for example, the law enforcement review, which I hope will report at the end of March, reiterates the need for the Police Act to be brought into force, then at the very least having a power for the governor, if the government were resistant, to bring that legislation back to the House of Assembly to debate could be a positive step forward.
The legislation was introduced and passed in the House of Assembly under the leadership of former Premier Andrew Foy. According to Foy, the legislation seeks to further strengthen good governance among the conduct of public officers, statutory boards, and elected officials in the carrying out of their duties, strengthen systems in the adherence to public policy, and will pave the way to establish an integrity commission. The commission, once instituted, is expected to assist the government in achieving its objectives of promoting good governance, enhancing the ethical conduct of public officers, and strengthening the prevention and detection of corrupt acts by persons in public life. Our viewers, up next, Fun Run 2024 takes to BVI waters this Sunday, and LA Lakers WAIVE BVI basketballer HODGE. For these stories, when Twit 4 News return.
Today, I am doing cobble treatments with Beyond the Reef. Today, we are doing shark research. So today, we are doing whale research with Beyond the Reef. And wherever I go, I take CCT with me because my life is unlimited.
Yo, everything good there? Aye. This thing got me one way that day.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctbvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. For this Sunday, January 14th, 2024, Presidential Charters and One VI Poker Run will host a Fun Run 2024 with 3 stops throughout the Virgin Islands. Organizers from the One VI Poker Run, Miss Kyla Forbes and Chad George, spoke about the event and its aim to promote a wholesome boating fun for all Virgin Islanders, both in the BVI and the United States Virgin Islands.
It's exactly that, a fun run. Just a fun Sunday on the water. And that's what the Virgin Islands is known for. Sundays is for fun on the sea. You come out with your friends, your family, and that's exactly what we wanted to do in collaboration with all the Virgin Islands poker runs. Now, as we do know, last year's poker run, the U.S. Virgin Islands had their poker run on the same day.
Okay.
And we appreciate when our Virgin Islands, from the sister islands over in St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, is able to join us. And we weren't able to really collaborate as much as we do during that July poker run. So now all of us have come together as one to enjoy one Virgin Islands on our waters, having just an absolutely great time.
Wonderful, absolutely. And
Yeah, you mentioned Presidential Charters and One Virgin Islands Poker Run. We also are collaborating with Ocean Commotion Poker Run and Stars and Stripes as well. So
and those are all in the BVI or US
No, those
Virgin
are the
Islands?
US Virgin Islands.
Okay.
So we're just showing what we are. It's One Virgin Islands. When it comes to poker run and fun on the water, it's One Virgin Islands.
Additionally, Georges and Forbes spoke about the route and various stops, as well as the entertainment and prizes for the free event.
So stop one, and that's actually the start. We start at Paradise at 12:30 p.m. I said 12:30 p.m., not 1 o'clock, not 2 o'clock. I'm asking persons to be there early with your engines revved, your life jackets on, just ready for an amazing day at 12:30. And then we head over to Foxy's Taboo in Joss Van Dyke, and then over to Prickly Pear. And Prickly Pear is, of course, all around is a good time, but Prickly Pear is where the action really starts. And I'll let Chad talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Okay, so when we go to Prickly Pear, of course, we'll have entertainment by Jugu, TJ, and Farai of Vibe, alongside Selector Taz. We'll also have a lot of fun beach games where we'll have various prizes. Some of the prizes, we don't want to give out too much, but some of the prizes would be stuff like round trip tickets to various islands. We won't say by which farm, because that might give away some of the islands, but we'll have some exciting gifts, and it's a free event. So
wonderful. It's
not like the poker run that we have in July where you have to pay an entrance fee. It's free. So you just come, enjoy the stops, participate in the games, and win prizes.
Amazing. I'm happy that you mentioned free event. Yes, Kyla?
Yeah, and just to add to what Chad said, persons to know when it comes to one VI poker run, we're very generous when it comes to prizes and, giveaways. So I think it'll be an absolutely great time.
George also spoke on safety and the importance of adhering to all boating safety guidelines.
We're stressing for everyone to be safe on the water, to wear your life jackets, adhere to all of the docking, all of the buoys. Everyone on the sea knows about this. So, you wear your life jackets, you wear your kill switch, you adhere to the various safety laws that are on the sea. It's not a race, so you don't have to be out there speeding. And that happens now and again, but we have planned races for up at Prickly Pear, but they will be organized races where we'll have boats out there securing the water, so that when the boats that are actually racing, we have the other boats that are just there to see on the sideline, so there won't be any interference. But in terms of the run, just run at a safe pace so that we can have a fun and safe day.
And we want to emphasize that. We want to emphasize that it's not a race at all. It's just a fun time. We don't want any racing out there because we want to be absolutely safe on the water.
And in preparation for the rest of the year, they also announced the date and theme for the main poker run event, which is to be held in July this year.
So, of course, annually, we have our one VI poker run, and we have already saved the date. We want you to save the date for the 30th of June, 2024. And this year is coined Champions of the Sea.
And I have to interject here, Kyla, and I'm not being the devil's advocate, but I hope that June 30th is not the same day as the USVI, so we wouldn't have that problem again last time, right?
No,
okay, good. Because we do want them to be able to participate.
Yeah,
all right.
It's very important that
we
they
have collaborated with them and talked to them, so the both poker runs will be on separate days, so that we will be able to attend theirs and they will be able to attend ours.
Lovely.
Right. So we want to just encourage once again persons from all Virgin Islands, all the islands, Joss Van Dyke, Virgin Gorda, Tortola, St. John, St. Croix, St. Thomas, but also our persons over in Anguilla. Anguilla, Anegada, everyone. We want everyone to come
also as far as St. Kitts, because we have brethren in St. Kitts that also would like to participate in our poker run.
Viewers, for the full interview, visit all 284 media platforms. Moving on to our final story, the Los Angeles Lakers have requested a waiver on British Virgin Islands native HODGE, ending his two-way contract with the team. HODGE signed with the Lakers in July 2023 and appeared in 7 regular season games, averaging 2 points in 5.9 minutes per game. But the BVI basketballer also saw action in 16 games for the Lakers' G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers, where he averaged 11.2 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.4 steals in 22.6 minutes per game. Members of the public responded over the weekend with encouraging words for HODGE as news broke of his apparent Lakers departure. Many approached the update with curiosity and excitement for the next steps in his professional career. HODGE is now a free agent able to explore opportunities with other NBA franchises. As the first BVI native to sign an NBA contract, HODGE made history, realizing his basketball dreams. No matter wherever he lands next, HODGE has already done the BVI proud, and public supporters wished him all the best as he enters the next chapter of his journey. Now, viewers, that's all we have for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.